Chairman, thank you to our two distinguished witnesses. You are the right leaders for this difficult moment, and I am grateful for your service and for the agencies which you lead. 2 weeks ago, Senator Sass and I held a hearing of the subcommittee on privacy and technology where we focused on the role that social media platforms' algorithms play in amplifying misinformation and extremist content. Secretary Mayorkas, you noted in your testimony that you're increasing your department's efforts to assess how domestic extremists are leveraging social media and other online platforms. Can you tell us more about those efforts?
Thank you very much, Senator. The challenge really is, number one, the anonymity with which people are able to navigate through social media and really exploit the medium for improper and unlawful purposes, and two, the speed with which they can do so. And so what we are doing is dedicating analysts to understanding the narratives that are being communicated on the social media platforms and identifying linkages between those narratives and indicators of intention to commit violent acts. Right now, we are doing that through the human resource, not yet leveraging algorithms, but we are, of course, planning different methodologies as we proceed in this endeavor.
And Attorney General Garland, you and other leaders, in fact, Chris Wray at the FBI has also spoken about self-radicalization. And I assume that what that really means is folks who are largely sitting at home and consuming hours and hours of extremist content through YouTube and Facebook and other social media platforms. Would you agree that if platforms have algorithms that are actually designed to hold the attention of viewers and to engage them by delivering more and more extremist content to people who start going down these so-called rabbit holes, then they, perhaps unintentionally, are fueling some of this problem, and we should take some actions to help address that challenge?
Well, I agree with Secretary Mayorkas that what's happening on our social media platforms certainly can lead to self-radicalization. The precise mechanism, I'm no expert on, and I wouldn't want to pretend to be. But self-radicalization does, we've seen it most dangerously with respect to those who are influenced by jihadist websites, who watch those websites over and over again and become persuaded and then self-radicalized. And this accelerates very quickly. Somebody can go from a circumstance where no one around them thinks that they are likely to be a violent extremist to one who then acts out. And I think that this is the way in modern society people get this information is through the internet.
And I notice an increase in budgetary requests in both of your departments to fund grant programs that build state and local capacity and to increase funding for U.S. attorneys' offices. Will any of that go towards further research on this exact point? And will any of that go to help focus on what the mental health issues are that might make people more vulnerable to recruitment or radicalization, and what the local initiatives might be that could help tamp down or deter radicalization?
If I may take that, Senator Coons, a few efforts, if I may. Number one, we help resource centers of excellence to conduct research in precisely the area that you have identified. We have grant programs to equip and enable local communities to conduct research and also to develop programs that are in fact focused on mental health issues and a holistic approach to the challenge that we face. That is precisely one of the reasons why we actually changed an office's name to become the Center for Prevention Programs and Partnerships. It's about prevention first and foremost, which does include mental health efforts, and partnership, working with our state, local, tribal, territorial partners to equip them in the communities to develop these programs, to develop educational efforts, as well as response and resilience programs.
Thank you. Anything you wanted to add?
Yes, and the same for us. So the National Institute of Justice did a study on just this topic, understanding domestic radicalization and terrorism, which came out last year, which I mentioned in my written statements. We have $4 million in our budget request for them to continue and to do further analysis of root causes of radicalization.
Well, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for your testimony. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.